Today's date is November 3rd, 2023. My name is Jacob Stickle. I am the archival assistant here, and I'm here with
Tori Otten, the assistant archivist.
And we're here for the oral history program. And our guest today is
Amy Breeze.
And thank you for coming. All right, we can start off with the background questions here. So, what is your name?
Amy Breeze.
Oh my goodness. And when were you born?
When was I born?
Mm-hmm.
October 3rd, 1969.
All right, where at?
Wilmington, Ohio.
All right, go for Ohio. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Morrow, Ohio.
All right.
So on that, you've already named a lot of local areas. Have you always lived in the area?
Yes, I have.
No. Okay. And we're here for your retirement interview pretty much, but what jobs did you have prior to working for Warren County?
Prior to working for Warren County, I basically worked in retail through my college, and then once I graduated college, I started right here at Warren County.
Yeah. And what department do you work for?
I work under the prosecutor's office. I'm in the child support division.
Okay.
All right. How long have you worked here in Warren County, and what year did you start?
I've been here 31 plus years, and I started in August of 1992.
All right. And where has child support been located through the years?
It's always been in the Common Pleas Courthouse. We were upstairs when I first started, and then I don't remember the year we moved downstairs.
What are some of your daily tasks and duties?
I supervise, I've had as many as 23 employees underneath me, so it's a wide range of daily tasks that I deal with every day.
I bet. Can you list some examples?
A lot of employee issues, a lot of first thing in the morning, try to get the reports type things done to start the day, the things that are most important, that kind of stuff. Leave forms, making sure all the different teams that I have, there's someone in there to do the job.
Fair enough.
And then how do you get to work with other departments like the sheriff's office?
With the sheriff's office, my main role is with their commissary funds. I worked with them back last year. The program was already set up, and then COVID hit and everything broke. So as we all know.
Yes.
So I started with them back in October of 2022. I was like, what year are we in? And basically made it more mainstream. So I am able to access the commissary funds. They give me a list of anybody that has over $50 on their fund. I run it through our system, and if they have a child support case and they're not paying, I try to seize the money.
Okay.
I try to do that as my number one task every day. However, sometimes employee issues will stop that from happening.
Well, just so we have it on this, what is your technical job title now?
My job title, they call me, I'm the supervisor of the special ops is what they call me.
You sound very fancy.
Yeah, right?
Well, with that, what is something that people don't know about your position or role?
I think a lot of the staff have no idea that the role doesn't stop. It is 24 hours a day. If they need to call you, it doesn't matter what time they're calling you. If there's an issue, you handle it.
And in what ways does your 24 hours have you interact with the public?
As far as public, my staff does most of it. I interact mainly with our partners, so the sheriff's department, the courts. The only time I will get directly involved with public is if it needs to escalate to me, if they can't handle it. But typically it's they're one-on-one or through the phone or through a web portal that they're communicating.
In that regard, do you also work with other local law enforcement agencies or just the sheriff's office in that
Sheriff's
respect?
office mainly. Some other agencies will basically, if they have knowledge of child support and they pick somebody up and they have a pile of money on them, they'll call. hey, can you check and see if you got a case because this guy's coming in or this gal's coming in with this money. So that's a good.
Oh,
yeah. They don't like me, but
I'm sure other people love it.
Yes.
So.
Right.
People receiving the money like me.
Yeah, and in that light, what parts of your job do you find rewarding, especially working with the public?
Knowing what I do for the families, for the children, making sure they have what they need.
Right. All right. And are your coworkers, managers, or others you've worked with that had an impact on you?
I have been, because I've been here 31 years, there have been 5 different directors with the agency, all of which have good qualities that I tried to take in as I became a supervisor and use those qualities.
Right.
And can you think of any memorable projects you helped with over the years for child support?
Oh, geez. Warren County, when we were under the director, her name was Beth Ann. She was very good at working with the state and having Warren County be pilots of new programs of things changing as they were coming down. That's always rewarding. You always have a say. You always can help guide what will work with the system or not. When the state changed how we end the case, when a child's 18 and graduated and we stop the case, they changed it from going to the courts and having the courts do it to us do it administratively. I personally worked with her and helped it come up with the process we do today, which was very rewarding.
Oh, yeah. It sounds like a very involved process
Yes.
to get to that point.
Yes.
And so that's a memorable project for child support, very much so. What would you consider some of your highlights of your time with the county?
Oh my goodness.
I know it's a very broad question. But
Yeah. I guess potentially watching myself grow with the county. I started in as a normal and regular everyday investigator, and worked my way up. I think in 2005 I became management. And just seeing how it's grown all around. Like I said, we were upstairs and tiny, and now at one point in time, we had 50 employees. Since COVID, we're down to roughly 38. So, but more efficient at what we do.
small blessings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, what was the county like when you started versus when you're leaving?
Oh, geez. Small.
They mentioned a couple examples like moving from paper to electronic, or
Yes.
mentioned
Before we would have files and cabinets full of paper. Every case had its own file, and if you had a regular routine case that pays every day, it's this big. If you have one that doesn't pay, then it's this big. So going to electronic imaging has been a godsend. Very hard to get used to when you were a paper guy, when that's all you were used to. But and that was a project that was a long process. But being a part of it, making it work for our agency alone was a good thing.
So this is kind of a weird aside on that, because you have been management during a lot of the shift from paper to electronic. Did you see a big shift in the budget in that regard? We found that some other areas, when they switched to scanning, there's a high upfront cost, but then they look later and they're like, oh my gosh, look at all this money that we saved on all the paper.
Paper, yeah. We have a guy, our paper guy. He'll tell us you don't need any for a while. So yes, we have saved money in that aspect.
Yeah.
It was hard for the staff to stop printing. They wanted to print it and read it. You can see it on there. Promise, you can do it. So it's old habits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Us in the archives understand that.
Oh, I bet so. Yes.
Oh, yeah. All right. Did anything significant happen while you were working for the county? I know you mentioned COVID earlier. Did 9/11 affect your job?
9/11, I was an enforcement investigator at that time. I was not in management. Yes, it was the work stopped. I mean, and rightly so. Everybody was just concerned. And then security levels all changed, how you were getting in. I mean, you let anybody in the courthouse prior to that, and now everything gets locked down and put different policies in place. COVID was rough. I was in management at that time. They were allowed to work 1 day a week in the office. I, being a part of management, I had the biggest team. They even had the managers doing that at some point in time, but everybody was afraid. So I was one of them. I said, they've got to be able to see a familiar face. So I was one that went in every day, just if they needed someone just to talk to. But a lot of our stuff even though we got away from paper, we send paper out. So if they were working from home, they couldn't print. They had to print it in office. We had to get it out to the public. We're on time frames. So COVID was very hard.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What are some of the most important things you've learned while working for the county?
Most important things. Patience. You have to have patience. As a supervisor, learning to deal with the multiple different personalities of people, listening, and treating everybody fair.
Be a big part of it. That'd be a big part of it. What are you going to miss most about working for the county?
You are with the people at the agency more than you're with your family. So they become family. So I will definitely miss them.
There's going to be many a group outing for dinner.
Yes.
And the text messaging
Yes.
and all of it. Absolutely. Well, you're going to see people after you retire, but what else? You got any big plans?
I'm doing it right at the holidays, which is always stressful. So get through December. We're going to travel. We're going to go out to see our son. He's in Texas with grandbabies, so that's where they
there you
live.
go.
So we're going to do that. Those things are planned. As far as anything else, we'll just see.
Well, we also were told by some of the lovely individuals of your office that you're a fitness trainer.
I am.
Do you plan on sitting still at all, or just?
Oh no,
just
no.
constantly?
I will still continue to do that. I will offer more time for the different times to come, because now it's, I'm first thing in the morning. I can do lunch, or I'm doing evenings. Now I'll have more availability.
Got some options.
Yes.
And one last question for you: what advice do you have to give any current or future Warren County employees?
Whew. I personally, working here fit my life. It's close to home. At that point in time, I was newly married with a little one. Make the best of it. It's not hard, but just my job. I mean, it could be, but it's not. Just embrace it. Yeah.
From what we've been told, it sounds like it would be hard for many a person. You're just very good at what you do, from what we've been told. So don't sell yourself short.
Okay.
But on that note, do you have anything else you'd like to share with us?
I don't think so.
Okay.
All right. I do feel I need to mention we were debating about how to approach it, but when I was talking to Mike and Thomas over the phone, they brought up a cartoon chicken. Would you mind speaking on that?
We hear there might be a chicken you keep in your office.
A chicken?
That's what I've heard.
Oh, no. What I have, it is not a chicken. And if I'd have known this, I'd have brought it over. It is a little cartoon character. Okay, and I'm the type of, if I got to get something done, I got to get something done. We're not going to chit-chat in my office. So this little cartoon character, when I first started, they cut hair out for it and had it have a little devil and a little tail, and it's got a little caption that says, "Get out of my world." And I still have that 31 years later. It is still there. But it's not a chicken.
So is it coming with you, or are you leaving it
No,
there?
it's coming with me.
Absolutely. That's fantastic.
fantastic.
Pick it up in the work studio.
Yes,
Great.
yes. Here it is. So yes, when I first started, I was an intake investigator, and the person had been out on medical, so the work was piled. So you're not gonna come and BS with me. I got to get this stuff done. So then they thought they needed to make that cartoon character me.
Oh, it's a cartoon character of you.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, they cut dark hair and put on it, and I can't remember the actual name of the character, but yes.
Oh, that was a fun way to do it.
Yep. Well, on that fun note, we thank you so much for participating in the Warren County Oral History
You're
Program.
welcome.
And we wish you all the best in retirement.
Thank you.
And we will conclude the interview.
Thank you.
Thank you.